Hey, rock stars. Today, I want to chat to my content creators, my future content creators. We are now in 2025. People's wheels are turning. We're mid-January. But I know many of you are struggling with what the heck are you going to do in 2025? Like I said, you might be a content creator already. Maybe you're just getting started. Maybe you're thinking about it. I am recording this particular video just ahead of recording the 203rd episode of the Business Development Podcast. And I wanted to spend some time today just chatting about some of the challenges that come with being a content creator, right? Creating consistent content, no matter what anybody tells you, is hard. And I've had plenty of people reach out to me and say, Kelly, well, we live in the day of ChatGPT and AI. Why don't you just ask ChatGPT or ask AI to give you show ideas or topics? Guys, I'm speaking for myself on this one. That does not work for me because I can't creatively come up with a show plan for something that I didn't already think about. So I've really struggled with coming up with show topics specifically from AI. Every show topic you guys have seen on the Business Development Podcast was one that was either suggested to me by a listener of the show, which I could resonate with, or it was something that I came up with all on my own. Because in my mind, my creative flow really happens from things that I come up with. So if I come up with an idea, that can spitball onto the things I want to talk about with regards to that idea, which can spitball into something else and something else. And the writing process just flows, right? You really have to get to a point where the writing process will flow for you. It's not always flowing. And if that's you, I want you to understand that is completely okay. Writer's block is completely normal. It happens to each and every one of us. I'm experiencing it or have been experiencing it off and on throughout the entire Business Development Podcast. So you're not alone in that. Not all days are created equal. Not all shows are created equal. Not all videos are going to be created equal. And that is completely okay. What is important with being a content creator is making sure that if you commit to releasing a schedule, so let's say that you commit to releasing every Wednesday, that come hell or high water, you release something every single Wednesday. Where I see lots of content creators screwing up is they overcommit from the very beginning. You see them, they go off with a bang. You guys are starting out, you're putting out a video every single day. Heck, maybe you're putting out a podcast episode every couple of days. You're just really on it. But is that sustainable long term? Because content creation, guys, it is a long game. I was talking about it just the other day with the Business Development Podcast. I think at 200 episodes, this is the point. We are just getting started. We've created enough back content that when people find us, they have a whole sea of stuff to go through and can become long-term listeners. But it takes a bunch of content for people to even find you in the first place. It takes a lot of content before you start to get recommended by algorithms and things along those lines. So understand, the secret to success in content creation isn't always about having the best quality content all the time. Although having good quality content is damn important. You know it and I know it. But almost what is more important is not quitting. The biggest challenge that every content creator has is we give up before we reap the rewards of our labor, right? We quit because consistency is hard. We quit because we're not seeing the results we want at episode 20 or at video release 35 or 40. But understand, it is a long-term commitment. I don't want any of you guys getting into content creation here in 2025 without making yourself a promise. And I mean a promise that you will commit to at least 100 episodes of whatever you choose to do. 100 videos, 100 podcast episodes, whatever it is. Give yourself enough room to win. Give yourself enough room to succeed at this. Don't go into this thinking you're going to be an insta hit overnight, because I'm not sure that even works well for celebrities. I think it all takes time, okay? You have to commit to the long-term game. You have to commit to a show schedule. If you commit to every Wednesday, come hell or high water, you come out every Wednesday. If you worry about getting out on a Wednesday, record 2 shows early so that you can always release on a Wednesday. But figure out what you can commit to a long-term strategy, and plan for that strategy. We have to make sure if we are going to be creating content that we give ourselves the best odds possible of being able to create great content consistently. One of the tickets that has really gone a long way for me is every single year for the Business Development Podcast, I sit down and I write out the full show plan. Every show topic that I would like to cover, not the whole plan, just the topic. List out like 50 topics if you're in a podcast, or 100 topics or 50 topics if you're doing a YouTube channel or videos like this. Just write out a whole bunch of things that you could ultimately talk about and work down that list. Write the schedule that you're going to release that content on just to keep you fresh. Trust me, being able to sit down and write a show plan or a video plan from a content list that you created is going to be that much easier, and it's going to take that guessing game out of what do you need to create for the next week. You'll know because you'll have the list. If you don't have the list, it adds another element that just makes this even harder. So understand, if you are going to be doing content, having a show plan to work from can mean all the difference between succeeding long term and just frankly giving up, because creating content on a consistent basis is hard. If you are having writer's block, understand that is okay. I find that for me, inspiration will come at certain times. I can't just schedule into my calendar the time that I'm gonna do my show plan. For instance, today, I wanted to do my show plan this morning. I wasn't prepared to write my show plan this morning. My head wasn't in the right space. I wasn't thinking about it the right way. I didn't have the right atmosphere, which is something else that I like to do. I like to put on 90s music. Sometimes I like to write next to the fire. I'll create an atmosphere that is conducive to creative thinking. But understand, however you do it for you is up to you. You got to figure out where your happy place is for writing, right? But figure out what it is, and don't feel bad if you're not in the mood to write down a show plan or content creation is just not coming to you. It comes in moments. And if you can just understand and start to recognize those moments where you're like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm really flowing. I'm gonna take 5 minutes here and I'm gonna write out a show plan for my podcast. Take the inspiration when it comes and don't beat yourself up when it doesn't, but figure out if there are ways that you can coax it along. Like I said, for me, I wanted to do it this morning. I wasn't in the mindset. But I sat down this afternoon, I started a fire, I put on some like 90s music, I was just enjoying myself, and I just started writing, and the show plan flowed for episode 203. So figure out what works for you, go with that. But whatever you guys commit to, give yourself time to win. Give yourself time to succeed. Too many podcasts quit at like episode 8. We need to be giving ourselves a solid runway. Whatever content creation strategy you commit to here in 2025, do yourself a gigantic favor. Right off the bat, tell yourself you're in it for the long haul and you are going to commit to 100 episodes of whatever it is you do. And then at the end, evaluate. Are you happy with it? Are you not happy with it? But let me tell you what, either way, at 100 episodes of anything you do, you did something pretty substantial and you should be very proud of yourself. Until next time, it's been a pleasure, guys. We'll catch you on the flip side.